then one of these. No, I don't want transcripts. It's picking up my mic. My mic is on. Why is it not streaming it? Let's see. Might not work. Might not work. Boo. I don't know. It says microphone allow. Okay, it's working. Yay. I don't know why it starts working randomly. I was actually trying really hard not to have that happen. And so I was on tech support with them earlier. I cannot get Chrome to work. It's so annoying too because here, you guys want to hear me complain? Here we go. We pay for this software just for streaming and it's not cheap. It's like $30 a month. I cannot get it to work in Chrome at all, which is supposed to be the browser it works in. Okay. And now I can't screen share because I'm in Safari. I wanted to show you guys my app, but yeah, it's not going to let me do that. And then when I come on here and there's no sound, I'm not doing anything. Like, I'm just turning things on and off until it starts working. It makes no sense. And so I was on support with them earlier, trying to get it fixed for the live stream. And then I set everything up in OBS and I was like, this is going to be way better. It's a free streaming service software. So if you want to stream, just learn how to use OBS. That's my advice. It's a little bit of a learning curve, but it's really not that hard. And it's really good. You can do a lot on it and it's free. So I moved everything into there. I taught myself like how to change the screen around and how to do everything I got to do in there. And then I went to go live and I realized I had pre-scheduled this video and OBS wasn't connected. It was connected to my YouTube, but not the stream that I had scheduled. And you guys have the link to this one. So then I panicked and I came back over here and came back on Safari and there was no sound again. So here we are. But now we're all here. So it's all good. Okay, let's restart. Literally in the middle of you with your hand on your face, so you couldn't have been doing much. I was just turning things on and off. All I did was turn all the settings on and off, turn the mic input on and off, turn the browser input on and off. And I just do that until it works. Makes no sense. Anyway, it works. Let's restart. Hi, welcome to Startup Grounds. I'm your Tech Challenge host, Faith Mariah. We're going to debrief the week. I'm curious how your guys' week went. Why don't you drop an emoji in the chat representing your week? I'm curious to see what you guys come up with. What would my emoji be? My emoji would be the little sleep face. I was very tired this week. I'm curious how your guys' week went. I want us to debrief the week. And here's the challenging part about debriefs. I want us to debrief the week from a place of non-judgment. Who has a judgy brain? I have a judgy brain. Anybody else's brain, just very, very, it has a lot of opinions about everything all the time. Ooh, Haley has a little star emoji. That's cool. Was very good. Rocket red, countdown, lift off. Yeah, oh my gosh, Toriel. I'm so happy to hear that for you. I love that for you. Megan seems like she's got some magic. Is it some magic witchy stuff happening? Ooh, Jessica's got her sunglasses on. She's feeling cool. Okay. We're going to debrief the week from a place of non-judgment, right? So here's what I'll say about that. Our brains love to make things mean all kinds of different things, right? One of my things that I've been using a lot that has been helping me this week, I have been on the struggle bus a little bit this week, and I'll talk you guys through some of the reframing or whatever that I did this week that I think might be helpful. But one of the things that has been helping me is remembering everything is neutral. So whatever you did or didn't do this week doesn't mean anything about you, doesn't mean anything about your success, doesn't mean anything about your business. It doesn't mean anything about anything. It just is, right? It's neutral. And then we tell the story and we add the narrative, right? And so my brain has really been struggling this week. I've talked about this a little bit, but my endometriosis has been really bad, really, really bad. I'm going to have to go in and get a surgery. I'm trying to get in to see a specific doctor I want to go to. But it's very painful, and it's also like it's a chronic inflammation like situation. And so if you do too much, you basically I basic if I do too much, basically I get like unbearable pain, like cramps, like the worst period you've ever had times like, I don't know, 100. And I've had bad periods, so I don't say that lightly, okay? But if I do too much, that happens, right? And so that's been really challenging to me, because what does my brain make that mean? If I have everything, if I have a to do list, you guys tell me too, what does your brain make it mean? If you have a to do list and you get gas, or you get sick, or you get a migraine, or you get distracted, or you get to doing stuff with your kids and you don't get your stuff on your list done, what does your brain make that mean? My brain was like, we're not going to be successful. I can't get enough done. We're not going to make the same amount of money this year. Um, even like, oh, thank God I have like a husband who's Matt is killing it. I don't know if your guys' relationship is like this, or if it's just like our dynamic, but I swear it's always like one of us is up when the other one is down. So like when somebody's struggling, the other one is just like thriving. And so, he went through a period where he was having a hard time getting work and getting back into figuring out what he wanted to do. And my business was like killing it. And now my business is slowing down. It's still doing well, but it's definitely slowed down compared to what it was. And he's like crushing it. He has this new job and he's just really, really good at what he does. He's a personal injury attorney. And so, my brain makes it mean all this stuff, right? It's like, not only do I feel fucking tired and I'm in pain, now I'm like, and my business isn't going to succeed, and I don't have enough time to get things done. And time is always a really interesting one for me to coach myself on, because I think our thoughts about time just feel like the truth. It's like, this is just the truth of how it is. Like, I don't have enough time to get things done. And if I don't do all these things I wanted to do, then the business isn't going to grow. But, my favorite question to ask is like, is that true? And like what I was messing with was like, the amount of things I do or don't do is neutral. The reality is every day there was some things I did get done and some things I didn't get done. And it's still the same. Right. And that's helping me like neutralize that story. Right. That story of like, this means like I'm not going to have a successful year in business because I'm having this like chronic illness thing that I have to deal with now, which I've never had. Like, I've always been pretty healthy. So this is like really thrown my brain around a lot. But I've been messing with like, what if that's not true? Right. So you guys tell me what story was coming up for you this week. Or if you look at what you did or didn't do, and it could be a good story, or if you want to work through like that was definitely one that came up for me a lot. It was like, I'm not going to get enough done. Like, I'm not getting enough done. I'm not going to be successful. I'm not going to be able to keep growing. I'm not going to be able to do all the things. I'm not going to have my goals anymore. Right. And it's like, is that true? Like, do I 100% know that's true? No. Right. And I actually think it's going to make me a lot more intentional when I do show up and the things I do choose to do. I think it's going to make me a lot more focused, right? I think it's going to make me a lot more intentional with how I'm showing up in the business and how I'm showing up in my life. Doesn't mean it doesn't suck, right? It's like painful and difficult to deal with, but there's like the suckiness of the chronic illness stuff, right? And the symptoms. That's like one layer, right? That's like the physical symptoms and living with these physical symptoms. And then the story is like it's like an optional layer of suffering that we add on top, right? So I have the physical pain, and then I have this story that's like, and I'm not going to be successful, and the business isn't going to grow, and I can't hit my goals, right? And all this stuff. And so I've just been trying, the way I try to clean that up, I don't go super positive because I'm not someone, I really love Byron Katie. I don't know if you guys have ever followed her. I don't know if she still does this, but I followed her a lot in the pandemic, and she did these like free sessions with people, and it was like on her stream. She did like a live stream that she would do every day, and she would coach people on there. And it was like free to watch. And she's really interesting to me because she's so different, like her perspective is so different than I feel like my brain defaults to, but she's really someone that can get behind, like, I don't know, like she was talking about like you can think like cancer's the best and love cancer and love everything in your life. And I'm like, I think it sucks. Like, I just think there's things in life that suck. And maybe that's not a useful thought, but I also don't want to like gaslight myself if that's the truth of what I think. And then it's like, well, what parts can I wiggle around? Like, sure, it sucks, but what do I want to make that mean? That's the part I can get behind and get a little leverage on. Let me see what you guys are saying in the old chatteroo. I wanted to show you guys the planning app I made because I made this whole like post-it brainstorming situation in the app. I really like it. I'll have to make a video in the mastermind. There's not, so it's only in beta in the mastermind. No one else really has access to it yet. But if you're in the mastermind, maybe I'll make a video showing you. Yeah, thank you guys. I am taking really good care of myself. And I think like, uh, life goes on, right? So we all have stuff, I'm sure, that we're dealing with that is hard, and you just figure out a new way to go forward. It has been very challenging. So yeah. I'm finally taking that to heart, that everything is neutral. I've had a great week, so productive. And also that doesn't mean this new business is going to work, and that's fine. Yeah, right? If that feels good, like sometimes taking that pressure off feels good, right? I'm like, there's something to me that has always been really helpful in growing the business about like detachment. When I struggle with the business, it's when I get very much like, we need to hit this goal. We need to hit this goal. Why isn't it growing? We need to grow faster. Why isn't it growing faster? Let's make it grow faster. What do I need to do? And it's like that kind of energy all the time. And it will make me make weird decisions, right? It'll make me like, I paid for a $25,000 coaching program. That seems insane to say out loud now, but at the time I don't know, it made a lot of sense, which was terrible, by the way. It's the worst program I've ever taken. Let's see. I had all the self-coaching modules in my ears this week. Helped so much to actually coach myself and take control of my thoughts this week. Haley, that's so nice to hear. I'm so glad. At first I was saying I haven't been very productive and that my summit was planning won't work well, but you already have 4 or 5 confirmed speakers and they're all super happy and excited to do it. Oh my gosh. I love this for you. I'm very, 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 very excited. That's awesome. Yeah, so good. We're all celebrating you, Toriel. You deserve it. I had to keep repeating to myself, facts over feelings. Yeah. Right? It's like that stuff feels real though. Like it feels very real to me, right? Like when I'm like laying on the couch or I walked the dog like half a mile, which Matt and I usually walk like 5 miles a day. But I walked the dog like half a mile and I was so exhausted and in so much pain afterwards. I just came home and slept for like 3 hours, which I don't usually sleep during the day. So, when stuff like that happens, my brain really wants to be like, you can't do this. Like, and I just get into this place. You guys know me. Like, I'm always like, I can do the underdog thing, right? So my brain's like, you can't do this. You're not going to be as successful. This year is going to be just really difficult. And I'm just like, fucking watch me. Fucking watch me fucking do it. And that always just like grounds me, right? And makes me feel powerful. And I just think of like everything in my life. We've all like overcome so much. Like think of everything in your life like you've overcome, the ways you've evolved, the ways you've changed, the miracles that have already shown up, right? So something I was writing about in my journal that I think is very human, but I was talking about how my brain is always like wanting these miracles off in the future, like wanting the miracle, and like available to the miracles and all this stuff. But I was thinking about it and I was like, well, what about the miracles like that already showed up? And it's so interesting because it's like, they fade so fast once they come. Like we forget all about them, right? And it's like you're, in a lot of ways, probably all of us are like living the miracle now, like that we once asked for. There's probably things in your life that you asked for at some point that you really wanted, and then we have them, and it's like, now I want the next thing, right? And so I've just kind of been in this place of like, I don't know. Like I've been being very good about resting too. I also love the idea of like how do I maximize rest? That's always been interesting to me. I did a whole thing in December about this, about resting, but how do I maximize rest? And I've always been like, you've got to kind of love what you're doing while you're doing it, right? So I'll like get in bed and I'll be like, oh, my pillow feels so good and my bed feels so good and I'm so happy. But now I'm like trying to rest, but I'm also in pain. So it's difficult to create that scenario. So then it's like, well, how do I rest? Like, because I think rest comes from your mind, right? So I'm like, how do I rest and like let my body be in pain? And I don't know that I've figured that out, but I'm like, that's one I'm like simmering on a lot in my journal right now. I love that though. Facts over feelings. What are the facts, girl? Yeah, I'm like, it feels very real that like I won't be able to get enough done and the business won't grow. Like that feels just true. But you're right. It's like, it's not a fact, right? Those are just stories and feelings. And we can keep them if we want. But I don't see any need to hold on to that story, really. I've been doing morning pages. Ooh, what is, what is the name of that book? Is it, it's not called Morning Pages. It's called something else. The Artist Way? You guys fact check me in the chat. But I really like that book if anybody needs a little. That book to me is like, it's very cozy, feels very good. If you need like a nice cozy, and it's very about like creating, like tapping into your creativity and feeling inspired. If you need that kind of vibe, check out that book. I'm sure they have it at your library. I've been on a big no buy kick and I'm doing everything. No Amazon, no Target, none of that shit. I'm done. I kicked it. I had been trying to divest from Amazon for like a year and then I'm done. I'm not supporting any more corporate stuff. I'm only shopping local as much as I can. Right? I'm shopping like small businesses on Etsy. I just bought some like healing tonics and stuff off of Etsy. I don't know why am I talking about this. I forgot. Oh, but my point is you can get it at the library. So I've been doing a lot of Kindle books. They have audiobooks and Kindle books you can get from your library. The more you know. I didn't know that till like a year and a half ago or something, but I still think that's really cool. I'm late and I'm driving, but I'm listening in. It's been a while, so I'm glad to see your face again. Oh, that's so good. I'm so glad you're here. Nona Ray, I saw you're doing a big pivot. I saw it in the group. I'd love to help you. I'm excited for you. Nona Ray has been doing bookkeeping. Now she's going to do homestead stuff. Does mastering your self-coaching method make you immune from mindset issues? I don't think they're like issues, Calvin. I think about it like this. I think the more that we understand our brains and how they work and why they do the things they do, and I think you can I think you can build skills around like being the gentle observer of your own thoughts. This is very like, I don't know. I feel like Eckhart Tolle and like a lot of philosophy kind of people talk about like you be the observer like of your own thoughts. And it's like instead of experiencing everything you're thinking as like real, you kind of watch your thoughts and you're like, oh, that's interesting. That's really interesting. Like my brain really thinks like if I can't work all the time, that the business isn't going to grow. Like that's so interesting, right? From a place of like non-judgment. That's the hard part is like, can you debrief the week, right? Without judging yourself and just be the gentle observer of your own behavior, the gentle observer of your own thoughts. But I don't think it's really about like having mindset issues. I think it's just having more awareness, I think is useful. I think brains are still going to do the things that they do, right? So there's like that motivational triad, which is like conserve energy, seek pleasure, avoid suffering. It's still going to do the things it's programmed to do. You're not going to coach yourself out of having a human brain. Human brains also are, they're really main kind of wiring is about keeping us alive, right? And so there's a lot of stuff I think that gets triggered that's not useful anymore. So like the example I always think of is public speaking. Like a lot of people feel like if they do public speaking, and I've been like this too because I have anxiety, but people feel like if they do public speaking that they will die. Like it literally feels like they're going to die. And that's real. Like your brain, because we used to need like tribes and villages to be able to survive. If you were cast out, like that's what outcast, cast out, you would die. And so that's why our brain like will really get anxiety about people not liking you or being rejected or people saying mean things to you or getting mean comments. It triggers that part in our brain that's like, people need to like me or it's a big fucking problem for us. Right. And that's just like primitive stuff going on in your brain. It doesn't mean that stuff's still not going to get triggered, right? It doesn't mean that, you know. And I've done all this work for so long, and I still had like one of the worst depressive episodes I've ever had. Like not that long ago. What, like a year? When were we traveling? Like 2 years ago. But I mean, I just think like you can get some tools, you can get some more understanding. I think that stuff can be useful, but we're always going to be human, and you still have your human brain doing human brain stuff, right? I'm finally stepping away from my kind of manic, it has to work energy and stepping into natural frequency of, I don't know, embracing the dark side of humanity. I kind of like that for you, Megan. How does that feel? Tell me more about embracing the dark side of humanity. I would love to hear about what that means and how you're doing it. I've I've stopped reading the news, so I am focusing on like local politics, stuff I can actually work on and change, and not shopping corporate, but I'm not reading the news. I am doing like, I'll do headlines like maybe twice a week, but this is a very big deal to me. I don't know if everybody reads the news, and maybe you guys all do. I don't know. But I read the news like all day, every day. Like I know everything that's going on. I've always been a nerd about politics, about policy. I have a master's degree in public policy. Like I'm into it, right? And so this is the first time probably in my life I'm like, I don't know what's happening today. I haven't looked at it. I also like kind of have outsourced to Matt a little bit. Like if there's something he knows, like I would really want to know, to tag me in because he still keeps tabs on all that. I have felt similar this week, but with nothing in particular going on, feeling like I'm not doing enough. Thank you for the reminder around story versus fact. Yeah, Tyra, we're all going to have, like, even if you don't have chronic illness, we're all going to have days where we're more productive and days where we're less productive. And so we already know that, right? We already know some days are not going to be our most productive days, right? Productivity fluctuates. I haven't seen really many examples. Even Matt, my oh God, my husband Matt like is very high functioning. He gets like so much done every day. It's so hard for me not to compare myself to him because he gets up at like 6 a.m. and works like, starts working. By the time I get around to working at 10, he's already been working for hours. And I just have to remember like our capacities are different. I'm not him, and like there's not anything wrong with me, right? I'm like, if I was supposed to be working like that and I could work like that, I would be, but I'm just not supposed to be. Our our Even Matt though, as highly functional as he is, has days where he gets less stuff done. He has days where he gets distracted, he has days where he gets overwhelmed, he has days where he starts late. He has days where that's less productive. So even when you're a high producer, productivity fluctuates. You're not supposed to be productive all the time. I think one of the most toxic, there's a lot of toxic things I think that are perpetuated in our culture right now, but especially around individualism, but around productivity specifically. And I really had to kind of watch myself because I started following all this stuff on YouTube and on social media about like productivity and systems and getting more done. And I think that stuff is useful and it is important, but it can also be very toxic because it all kind of perpetuates this idea that like you should be trying to optimize your productivity all the time. And I think that's toxic when we know productivity fluctuates, right? It goes up and down. And so then it means like when it goes down that's a big problem. And I'm like, what if it's not a problem? The one that has been helping me even before this all happened was like I work in cycles. So there's times where I work and get a lot done, like a lot. And there's times where I barely do anything. And that's always been like a struggle to me where it's like, why can't I just like stay in the game all the time? And then I finally realized like my body's not supposed to work at that level all the time. And I work in cycles, right? So some people, like, their productivity fluctuates like day to day. They'll have a good day and a bad day. Some people it's like week to week. Some people it's like seasons. I have a friend that's just like, I just don't get any shit done in the winter. I just don't, right? She's like, does all her work in the summer. So we all have like these different kind of productivity, I guess, like little cycles. And it's like, if that's neutral, right? If it's like we know everybody has days where you're more productive and days where you're less productive. And if that's neutral and it doesn't mean anything about anything, it doesn't until we think about it, right? And give it a meaning and give it a story, and we attach all our thoughts to it. What do you want to make that mean? And to me, I was just like, I got to a place where I was like, I'm not gonna try and make myself be productive all the time. If I can learn some tips to like be more productive and get things done, that's great. But what helped me was like this idea of like, it sounds weird, but it's like this idea of like learning to rest well. I really got obsessed with this idea after Matt and I are about to have our 1 year anniversary, right? But when we got married last year, we went to an all inclusive resort, which I've never done anything like that, right? And it was amazing. Like, we didn't do anything. We laid on the beach. We went sailing. Matt likes to sail. We went sailing around Jamaica. We ate, we slept. We didn't do anything, right? And it was so nice. And I came back and I felt like I was like a new person. I've never had that experience on vacation. Like, usually when we come back from a trip, I'm stressed out, right? But this one, I was like, oh my God, I feel incredible. I feel amazing. And I got obsessed with this idea of like, what if I could recreate that experience of feeling rested, feeling so clear-headed, feeling calm, feeling grounded without having to go to Jamaica. Because I'm like, Jamaica doesn't like jump into your body, right? It's just like I was having this in this environment, and then my brain was thinking certain things, right? And I'm sure there's people that go to Jamaica and are stressed out the whole time, right? But what was I thinking that created that outcome, right? That like kind of calm, grounded outcome. And I became obsessed with this idea kind of how do I rest well, and how could I recreate the feeling of coming back from a vacation like that without having to go anywhere. And then I was like, this is also like something I think that's just interesting to mess with. My brain's like, oh, like, well, it took all this time. And I was like, well, what if it doesn't have to take a long time? What if that's just a state that's always available to me and it doesn't have to take a long time to get there? And then I started using the days where I had lower energy or I wasn't as productive to think about like resting well, and like what would it feel like? What would I have to focus on for tomorrow or next week or next month, whatever your cycle is, to really like have it be like go time, to really feel like, yes, like we're here, we're doing it, we're moving forward. And so I think that, I like to give things kind of purpose and meaning. And something that helps me, I think, is like, that those down days, Tyra, it's like, what's a way you can think about it that's useful? For me, it was like, I'm going to learn how to maximize rest. I need to learn how to rest well. I need to learn how to neutralize these productivity stories I have so I can help clients with it, and even for the chronic illness stuff and the endometriosis stuff I've been having, I'm like, I give meaning to that too, where it's like, this is going to like teach me so much. Like, it's already taught me like a lot about rest, about being strategic, about energy. I've just never had to think about stuff like that because I can like kind of make myself work hard and do whatever, right? I've just always been like that. And now I can't. Like, there's like a real physical ceiling that it doesn't matter. I just can't work like that. I have to rest. And if I do try to even work harder, it just makes it worse. Right. And so I have to really listen to my body, which I've never had to do before. And so I think that's something, right? It's like, I'm going to learn how to listen to my body. I'm going to learn how to be more intentional with the time I do have. I'm going to learn how to be more intentional with rest. And I think all of that is like a good thing. I'm not fucking glad it's happening. Like, that's not what I'm saying, right? That's what I'm saying about like Byron Katie's always like, I don't know, like she'll talk about like when she had cancer. I can't remember if it was her that had cancer or one of her clients that had cancer, but she told this story where she was just like, and then you get to a place where you're like, I love cancer and cancer is the best. And I'm like, no, I don't know. I just can't get there. You guys let me know. Uh, let's see. I lost my spot in the chat. I want to talk to you guys. I didn't show up to this week's call because I was embarrassed about me blubbering last week. I'll be on it next week, though. Yeah, you don't need to be embarrassed. You are. I don't even think, like, I'm like, you didn't have like a breakdown or anything. I mean, you can if you want. Like, I'm not bothered by people crying on the calls, people being disappointed on the calls, people being mad on the calls. Like, those that stuff doesn't bother me. Like, it really doesn't. And I think when you guys are able to come to the calls and say like, yeah, I'm disappointed, or like, I'm upset that this is how this is going, and like, this is what I really think. I think it normalizes it for other people, right? Because I'm like, if in our community gonna come together on those Zoom calls and bullshit each other all week, every week, and be like, I am great, like, let me just talk about this strategy and pretend I feel fine. I don't think that that's really the kind of space you guys want to have. I mean, it's your space, so you tell me. But I just feel like, what is the point of that? I'm like, there's lots of places you guys can do that on the internet. I don't really feel like you need me to do that. I'm finally stepping away from my kind of manic, it has to work energy. Oh, I read that one. My new schedule is based around my baby's afternoon nap, so we can nap together every day. That's so lovely, right? Kind of fun to have that flexibility right now. Yeah, and you can, like, I'm sure there's definitely things about trying to have a business and having small children that I know is like very, very challenging, and that's real, right? But I think when you can find like little things to love about it, where you're like, I love that I can nap right now and I can just sync my schedule up to the baby schedule. And, you can always find things to be grateful for, I think. Yeah. With you on a no buy kick. I am over it. I don't know what it is, but something just switched in my brain where I was like, I am fucking over these big companies treating people like shit. I'm done with it. I'm so over it. And yeah, I blocked Amazon. I got this really good app. What was it called? It's called like One Blocker or something. And it was paid, but it was so worth it. Yeah, One Blocker. And it's nice because it works on my computer, my phone, and my iPad. And I just blocked all those sites. So like, even if I think of something where I'm like, oh, I should get that, I can't order anything. So and what, but it's so funny because then by the time I get around to like going to a store, it's like I don't even really need that anyway. So there's something about that dopamine from Amazon that's very bad for me. I think maybe it's the ADHD thing because we're always like dopamine seeking because our brains don't, produce as much dopamine. And there's something about like just clicking by and having it show up at the house the next day and like getting things right away and having a new little treat every day or a lot of days. We were ordering a lot. Like it's just like anytime I would think about like, oh, I should get this, I would just pick up my phone and buy it without even fucking thinking about it. And so this has been like a very big detox for me because I'm not on social media on my phone anymore. It's all off of my phone. I use that One Blocker app to block all of it too. So what would happen is I would take the apps off my phone, but then I would still go in through the browser and go on Facebook and Instagram, like even almost without even thinking about it because I was just so used to being on it all the time. And so I blocked it on the browser, and then I have the Brick app thing that I still use that I really like, and that like you can put it on a schedule so it locks certain apps at certain times during the day. So after 9 p.m., I'm like, you're done, girl. You're not doing nothing on the phone. Like, give it a rest. But between the social media and the shopping, I feel like, yeah, I'm just in a very detox, I don't know, kind of place. I just got tired. I don't know if you guys feel like that, but I'll just get to a place where I'm just like, I am fucking done with this. I'm done looking at my phone. I'm done buying shit I don't need. I'm done supporting like corporations that are not paying people fairly and treating people well. And I'm just done with it. You guys don't have to feel bad about shopping at corporations, by the way. Like, I think everybody has like their own ways that to show up. And I'm still creating harm in other ways. Like, so, you know, there's a lot of like weird purity stuff, I feel like, where it's like you can't be like good enough. And then I think that makes people not want to try to do anything. And I've experienced that too. But I'm just getting to a place where it's like, this is how I'm compelled right now. And that's how I'm going to show up. Let's see. I felt almost immediate relief in my decision to quit doing bookkeeping. I'm so excited to jump into this new adventure. That's so good. I think it's really nice to, I think, you know, you should really commend yourself because I think pivots are hard. A lot of times our brains like can really struggle with change, but it's really commendable that you're like, this is the thing. I know this is the thing. Let's make the decision and go. A lot of times we sit on those decisions. So that's kind of something interesting we can all think about. It's like, what do you know? Is there anything in your life or your business or anything where you're like, this is the next step? I know that this is the next thing. I know that eventually it'll be this. And then it's like, what if you just made that decision now instead of like sitting on it? Right. And there's something that's been very useful to me about business, about just making decisions fast and going. I'm like, I know where we're going. I don't need to fucking wait a year. Like, let's just go now. I'm going to be a shame oracle, working with people's shame, and others' emotions that society has taught them are wrong or too negative. I've always been too negative. I guess it's time to embrace it. I really love this for you, Megan. I think that this is a very, very good path for you. I have a very good feeling about it. How does it feel to you? It's so interesting. I think that's a great pivot because I just feel like it's just so aligned with like who you are. The news stresses me out, my goodness. It was giving me like such crazy anxiety. I like couldn't sleep. I would like be like thinking about all kinds of stuff in the middle of the night, and I was just like, I have to stop reading this. My husband is like your husband, both attorneys. Oh, I didn't know your husband's an attorney, Tyra. That's so funny. They are like a specific type of human. My husband is on top of it. Yeah, I do have to fuss at him about resting, but I also have to, yeah, not compare myself to him. Yeah, Matt's young. He's younger than me. So he's like really in this part. You know, he's worked for a long time to get the opportunities that he has now. And it's like go time for him. He just wants to put his time in and move up quickly and kind of get himself established. It's taken a long time to get, I don't know, into the right spot, like where it feels like, yeah, I could see you working here for a long time. It's like a really good company and everybody that works there is really good. And there's a lot of law firms that are just toxic. I hate like corporate stuff too, so it's really freaking triggering to me. I'm always just like, ugh. I'm like, they made you do what? They said what? Like, oh, Jesus. Optimizing my time is a huge part of what burnt me out. Now I'm all about spontaneity, and it's a million times better for me, even if it's less efficient. Yeah, this idea of like efficiency, right? Of like maximizing time. You know, it's like, are we really even maximizing it? Because then what happens when we have a down day and we're less productive, then we have all the shame and all the guilt and all that stuff that comes with it. And so I think, you know, there's like this other side, this like mirror side of trying to maximize productivity that then creates this like shame spiral when we're not like having the most productive day ever. And like I said, like we're human. So like humans, their productivity fluctuates, everybody, right? Like everybody has to rest some days. Everybody has days where they get more done and less done, right? And so if we know everybody's productivity fluctuates and then we make it mean like, I'm like ashamed of myself and I should get more done and I can't believe I'm not getting anything done and I wanted to do all these things. I think we all have like the thing that's hard, I think, for human brains and like human experience is like we all have more things that we want to do than we really have capacity for. At least that's my experience. And I think for most of the people in this community, it's like if I could like work more and have more capacity and output more, there's so many other things I would love to do. Like, but we have such a limited capacity. We have, first of all, limited time on Earth. Like that's That's something for all of us. We have limited physical capacity, you know, and I don't know. I just feel like I lost my train of thought, but maybe that will come back to me. There's a book called Toxic Productivity that I read at the end of last year. It was super powerful. Well, I'm going to check that out too, about how the difficult attachment of what I achieve is value to myself. Right, because it's like if we're trying to maximize productivity and that's the goal and we make that like good, then when we're less productive, I think a lot of us make that mean like we're bad or I'm doing bad or I should be doing more. And it's like you're not supposed to do more every day. Like you're just not. Like that's not how humans are built. Like at all. Like it's just not. And so I think the maximizing time stuff is interesting to me because I am interested in it. And I love all the productivity hacks and apps and all that stuff. But I'm definitely taking a break from it right now. I'm in my detox era. I'm just like, I don't know, not paying attention to anything I used to pay attention to, I feel like. Whenever I go on a trip, I always think I could do this at home. I need to stop feeling like I need to get away and instead get to rest and be leisurely at home. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I think going on trips is great. Like, if you have the means, knock yourself out. But for most of us, Matt and I can't go on trips all the time, right? And especially trips like that because there are times we're going to go for our anniversary. So we're going to Mexico and oh my God, we're going next week. I cannot believe that. We're leaving Thursday. That is insane. Oh, that just really broke my brain. I've not looked at the calendar. I did not realize that until just this moment. We're going to Mexico. It's our anniversary. We had the trip booked for Matt's birthday and Jamaica got hit by the hurricane. And so we moved it to like be an anniversary trip, which will be really nice. But then we're going to go like for my birthday, I'm turning 40. We're going to go raft the Grand Canyon. I told you guys that. That's like not going to be a relaxing trip. And we'll do trips like that. Like when we went to like Vienna, it's like exhausting. Like there's like vacation where you're like laying on a beach recharging and there's like traveling and we do a lot of traveling. So, when I think about the trips we want to take, I don't want all of them to be just relaxing trips. And so then it's like, well, we don't have like the means to just go on trips all the time to relax, right? So I do think it's like an interesting thing to think about, right? It's like I think I told you this, Tyra, before about the housewives. I don't remember if it was you, but I talked about this a lot where it's like, how can I watch like a lot of Bravo and like stupid TV. I'm like, how can I make like the experience of watching like the Housewives or Below Deck or something on Bravo? How can I make that rejuvenating and rejuvenation, right? And I think that layer of guilt that we're talking about and shame when we're not being productive like keeps us from getting that restful experience we want, right? Because if I think about what would I have to be thinking to watch an episode of something stupid on Bravo and then be completely like rested and feel grounded and calm and good, and just so relaxed and happy, what would my brain have to be doing? It's not doing this. It's not like, hey, we didn't get this done and we didn't get that done and we should do that and you didn't do that and now you're watching TV and you're wasting time and this is a waste of time and we should get more done. Whose brain does that, right? And it's like, that's the part, right, that I think inhibits our rest. I think the reason that I came to anyway, for me with the vacation thing, I'm like, why can I do that in Jamaica and not at home? When you go on vacation, you're not supposed to do anything, right? Like we don't have an expectation that we're gonna go on vacation and be productive at all. And so what's interesting to me, Tyra, is like, vacation is what life would be like if we didn't have this insane like guilt and shame about being productive all the time. Because when you think about how you feel on vacation, you feel so rested and so good. It's because you don't feel like you need to be doing anything else besides what you're doing, right? And I was like, even though we were resting or whatever and we're not working, I don't believe my job is so demanding that I can't feel rested in my life. I really don't. Like even with the chronic illness thing, like, and I can feel tired like in my body, but it's like, are you rested in your soul, right? And that's really what I'm after, is that like the peace that I had when we came back from there was like very eye-opening to me, because I don't know that I'd ever had that. I've never been on a vacation where you just like go lay on a beach and do nothing. Like I've done a lot of travel. I like backpacked and like stayed in hostels and like did camping trips, and I rode my bike across the country. I did shit like that. It's like not like it's not the same experience. It's like, yeah, on both of them you're like leaving home, but like the experience is a lot different. And I always wanted the challenge and the adventure of it. Like that's what was important to me. But now I'm like, a mix of both is nice. I think Matt and I are gonna kind of strive to have like one trip that's like that, and then one trip that's like a travel adventure trip every year. The thought of creating rest gets me through so much. When I'm exhausted, I breathe in, breathe out, exhaustion, and do that for 5 minutes. It always helps and gets me through when I can't nap. Yeah, it's hard not being able to sleep. I do understand that. I don't have kids, but I have a PTSD and I can't sleep. I'm laughing because it's like those two things are not the same at all. I know that. Haven't gotten there yet. I'm not sure I could be like Byron Katie. Your approach resonates with me. Oh, I'm glad. Yeah, I mean, we all just have to be ourselves. And I think different people resonate with different things. And I've learned a lot from her. Like, I appreciate that that's, her experience. She does a lot that it's interesting because she does, everything I do with thought work is very based in cognitive behavioral therapy. If you read any book about CBT or DBT, it's like all kind of, based on that or whatever. But the stuff she's doing, she's like a spiritual leader. The stuff she's doing is very similar, because she'll ask people when she's coaching them all the time, she'll say like, is that true? And she'll just keep saying it over and over. She'll just ask people over and over. She'll be like, is that true? Is that really true? Is that the truth? Is that true? Right? Until like, and she just keeps questioning him about it until you're kind of like, well, maybe it's not true. Right? And I think it helps people let go of those stories. So it's interesting to see, I don't know, how different people use the tools. She's more optimistic than I am, for sure. I've cried on so many calls. I think it's fine to cry on calls. I've cried on calls too. I've cried on the calls too. Me too. I had a coach we hired. This was a long time ago. I hired a coach to probably one of the first people I hired to coach in the mastermind. But I hired this person to coach, and they sent me a voice memo after their call, and they're like, hey, I really need to like apologize to you about something. And I'm kind of like, I don't know. When you get something like that as a business owner, you guys know, you're like, oh God. And I'm like, this is like, one of the first people that I've let like coach my community, that I used to be like insanely protective. I still am, but it's like, I also believe that there's a lot of things you guys can learn from other people that will be safe and good for you, right? And before, I just didn't know how to navigate that. And so I was like, the only way to keep them safe is just keep them with me. So when we started hiring coaches, I had all this stuff come up, and this person voice memos me. They're like, I need to talk to you. I really need to apologize to you about something that happened on the call. And I was like, oh, fuck. And she gets on the call with me, and she's like, I was crying on the call. I was talking about, I forgot even what it was, but she was talking about something personal, telling a personal story. And she said, I just started crying like on the call. And I was like, that's fine with me. I was like, I don't think it's useful to like our community to pretend we're not human. Like I understand that when you're in therapy and you're in social work situations, there's times where it's like not appropriate, right? But to me, I think a lot of what we're doing on the calls is like normalizing a human experience, a real human experience, because the experience that I see represented about entrepreneurship is not reality. It's like you start a business, you make $1 bajillion, you lay on a beach, you never work, you work 15 hours a week. Like, it's just like all very like glamorized. That's never really been my experience personally. And it's not the experience of most of the people I know. I don't see a ton of examples of that. It's not that it doesn't happen, but most of the people I know, even when they have overnight success, they've been working, building their skills for years before they get that opportunity. And so, yeah, I was telling her, I was just like, I think if you're willing to be vulnerable and open on the calls, then they can be vulnerable and open on the calls. I was like, you don't need to apologize for crying on the calls. I was like, we can't expect like them to come on the call and feel safe crying if you don't feel safe crying. Like, I don't feel like that's fair. And I understand how in like some programs, people think that's unprofessional and whatever, and that's there's no right or wrong to it. That's totally fair and totally fine. I see how people think that, but it's just not the experience like I've ever wanted to have. I just can't bullshit people. Like, I just don't have like that. Um, I don't know. Like, even Matt, when he goes to like corporate and stuff, he's like very like he has like a work personality kind of, and he's very like razzle dazzle, very like he's like wheeling and dealing and settling cases and doing all this stuff. I don't like have that. I'm just like I just have to be myself, and I don't. It doesn't feel honest to me, right? To pretend like I don't cry and I don't get upset. And we talk about a lot of really serious stuff on the calls too. So it's like I don't really want that experience for myself either. So yeah, I'm with you guys. I think crying on the calls is fine. like I was like I was like, it's fine that you cried on the call. Trust me. I thought like something happened, or I don't know, she got in a fight with somebody or something. Who knows? I'm right there with you, Amazon and Target. I'm absolutely done. Not to mention the fact that this stuff comes always poor quality anyway. I'd rather see stuff before buying. Yeah, I was doing Target pickup a lot too because there's actually not a lot of local stuff where we live. We live in a weird town because it's a tourist town. So there's a lot of like restaurants and bars and stuff like that. We live in like a historic downtown district where it's like old buildings and like I don't know, like it is like a postcard. It's like cobblestone streets and shit, and like it's very very beautiful where we live. And there's tons of restaurants and stuff like you would have in a city, but we're in a small town. Like there's not a lot of like I wish there was like a food co-op we could shop at. Like we don't have anything like that here. It's all kind of like there's a couple big box stores and that's kind of it. Like there's not like a ton of like it's such a weird town because it's like usually if you're somewhere I feel like and there's tons of stuff going on and tons of restaurants, there's always stuff going on downtown. There's always like festivals and events and music and like the stuff like you would find in the city, but then we don't have like normal shit. Like we don't have like I needed a computer cable. Like there's nowhere here you can buy a charger. You have to drive to Jacksonville. Like there's nowhere. There's not like an Apple store, a Best Buy, or like anything like that. So I was doing Target pickup a lot because I don't like shopping and they bring it to your car and I'll just go and like get whatever it is I'm needing. I'll just put in Target and go pick up. But I'm not doing that shit anymore. I'm not. I took it all off my phone. I'm so over it. I'm just that's I don't know. That to me right now is feeling like a little stand I can take and that feels good to me. And it's like a little hard, but it's not so hard like, but I do feel like it's doing something. So that's helping me. Like, I don't know. To me, whenever I feel hopeless about the world, the thing that helps me is trying to find some kind of little stand I can take, like my own little resistance, my own little Bezos resistance. I'm just over it. Yeah, you guys are all done too. Yeah. I've been waffling about this pivot in so many ways. I know this is right, but there's another part of me that's like, are you really walking away from the thing you built for 5 years? You don't have to decide right now. Like, so that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think it has to be like you go all in, Megan. I think sometimes it's useful if it's like, I know this is the next move and I'm just going to go there now. But there's also something to be said for like, you have attachment and experience and feelings. I feel like ending a business is kind of like ending a relationship in a lot of ways. I know that sounds dramatic, but you put so much into it and you invest so much time into it. I probably invested more time in my business than any relationship I've ever had, if we're being honest, right? Attorneys are a breed of human. They are. They are. I love Matt is the best though. You know what I love about Matt is he's so dependable. So that's a good thing about attorneys, I feel like. I've seen the crying moments. Watching them really made me feel this community is safe. Aw, thanks, Calvin. Yeah, Calvin went through and watched all the replays in the vault. I'm never going to get over that. I have so many ideas for fun things to do, but definitely not the capacity to do them. Yeah, we have such limited capacity. I think that's the problem a lot of us have is like, there's so much I would love to do. What a gift to live in a world with so much to explore where we could never do all we want to do in one lifetime. What a gift to die with goals unmet. Damn, Megan, I feel like I need to fucking write that down. What a gift to die. What a gift to die with goals unmet. Yeah, that's a really, really, really beautiful way of thinking about it. I feel like I need to like frame that. I saw something once about how humans want more than they could ever get, and how some folks spin that as a sign of our bad, greedy, ungrateful nature. But someone else saw it like this. Oh, maybe that goes with the other message above. My chat is being weird. You're so right. Vacation equals no guilt. At home equals guilt. Got it. Got to work on at peace with doing nothing. Yeah, because right, because when you're on vacation, you don't have anything in the back of your brain being like, I should be doing something else. And I think that that's why. Like for me, I think that's why. Even though I felt like I'm someone that embraces rest and leans into rest, I still think there was part of my fucking brain that was like, you should be working. You should not be just watching TV in the middle of the day. Like, you know. Now I'm like, I don't know. I'm working on letting go of it too. I think there's another layer. I think there's like another layer in there I can get to. And I'm curious and interested in doing that with the chronic illness stuff I'm having coming up right now. I think it's a really good time to like I'm like there's another layer of like rest I can get to mentally. And I think that I'm interested in unlocking that. I think it'll be interesting. She was like, it's that or impatient, Megan. So we compromise and I stopped doing my biz for a bit. I'm hoping because my new biz is more aligned, I won't get so burnt out again. Oh, inpatient, like inpatient treatment. This is a very good decision, right? And those decisions aren't easy. You know, it's so funny. Like, even the stuff we know is like good for us and the highest good and the right next move, it doesn't mean it's like easy to walk out and do for us. Okay, y'all, I gotta go because I got another call, but thank you so much for hanging out. Let's set some like intentions for the week really quick. When you guys think about the week, think about what do you want to take? Like, what thoughts were you thinking? What habits were you doing? What are the things you want to take? And then what are you ready to let go of? And I think we can all kind of think about that and go into next week like more intentional. I like to spend time on Friday, like just kind of thinking about what I want to let go of, what's serving me, what's not serving me. So interesting because there's certain things that serve you really well in certain seasons, you know, that don't serve you at all in other seasons. And I like the idea of being more intentional. You know, I think my word for the year, whether I picked it, I feel like it picked me, but I think my word is intention. And I think what I'll get out of this like chronic illness shit is like it's gonna make me very intentional with my time, with my energy, with my focus, with the things I want to do. And I am excited about that part of it, right? I think there's like even in challenge and in struggle and in things that maybe you wouldn't choose for yourself, you know, I do think there are like good little silver linings we can find, and that's always been a big comfort to me. Oh, I'm so glad you guys liked it. I'm gonna do more live streams. I'm gonna try and when I get back to make some type of schedule. So maybe like every Monday or every Friday, I'll do a live with a different theme. I was kind of thinking of doing different shows. So I like Startup Grounds as like my goal setting show. And then I was like, maybe we'll do some kind of office hour show. I thought it'd be fun to do some kind of marketing kind of show too. So I want to make like a Faith TV schedule when I get back. But I don't think there's anything else on the calendar because Kelsey and I are doing the bundle. The bundle launches Monday. Did you guys see that? So good. So good. Bundles launching Monday. I sent a bunch of free stuff out today if you want to grab a few things. We sent the sponsors out and the people that have been helping promote like got extra promo. So we sent their stuff out, but it's really good. There's a lot of really cool templates and GPTs and tools you can use in your business. We really were focusing on getting people to give us like tools, like more like processes and tools and things you can use and less like courses you have to watch and consume. And so that's kind of the shift we're making. I think we'll make it even more like really go all the way in on it in the one in the fall. But that launch is Monday. So we're doing that. And then I'm going to do the Bundle Boss launch. And I have the new leaderboard thing I want to launch. So I made an app that like lets you make these different leaderboards, and it's worked so well for this event. So many people have told us like they're promoting more than they've promoted, or promoted more than they would have. People got really, there was a few people that got really competitive over the leaderboard. And even though there's a lot of people not paying attention during waitlist, which is fair enough, like a lot of times people don't promote during waitlist at all. So even though there's a lot of people, you know, not paying attention during waitlist, just having those few people engaged, it did give us a lot of promo in the waitlist, you know, that we wouldn't have got. So I do feel like we're onto something with the app. And so yeah, hopefully we'll launch that when I get back from Mexico. Do we get VIP passes? Sure. VIP passes to what? Well, it's going to be free. I think I'm going to do 2. I'm thinking about doing a debrief for this last bundle, like what we learned, what worked, what didn't work. And then I just like behind the scenes because I'm nosy. I'm sure you guys want to hear. I'm like, I want to hear the behind the scenes of people's stuff. And you guys know, I'm like, I'll tell you, like, I'm not embarrassed or anything. I don't know. The metrics to me aren't like I'm happy to just tell you how it is and what went good and what didn't go good. And then what I want to do is the second one, where it would be like a bundle planning party, and you like leave with like your topic and some of your pitch list done and the messaging done, and like you actually like plan part of your stuff like all together as a workshop. But I think I'm just going to make it free, or if we do a VIP, I'm sure I will give it to you guys. I haven't even made the page yet though, Calvin, to be honest. So who knows? Ooh, I'm doing my freebie to join the B2C bundle. Yeah. When is the deadline? It's coming up, isn't it? Don't miss the deadline. FaithMariahEvents.com. I have to go to my own website. I have a bad memory, okay? All right? We're all just doing the best we can out here. March 16th. Info due. March 16th at 8 a.m. This is the other thing is like, make sure, like, if you wait till March 16th and you submit it in the afternoon, it sounds crazy, but it is hard for us to do because we kind of wait until everybody has everything in. And as soon as everything is in, they start making graphics, they start putting the pages together, they start making all those assets. We don't have a ton of turnaround, right? So you guys we're looking at info due March 16th, and then the bundle goes live not even a month later. So we have to build, you know, Melanie and Kelsey have to build all that out. So make sure that you get it in before 8 a.m. on March 16th. So really think March 15th in your mind. Every time we have people that do that, it's upsetting. So I don't want that to happen to you guys, but I would love for you guys to be in it. So it's B2C. So any like DIY stuff, career stuff, spiritual stuff, personal development stuff, you want to do homesteading stuff, anything like that, we would love to have you. We're recruiting. I am excited. You guys we'll do some kind of contest thing with the leaderboard for that one too, so you guys can see it. It'll be fun. People really liked it. They got like raffle tickets. We did like, if you promoted so many emails, like there was stuff that like unlocks that you get like prizes. There's like a leaderboard of like the top 10. So we've been having a lot of fun with that. I'm excited for you guys to see it. The leader's so fun and very motivating. Oh, that's good feedback. All right. Okay. Toriel's going to get her stuff in. Everybody else get their stuff in. Yes. Yeah. Next Level Life Bundle. Everybody do it. All right, y'all. Thanks for being here. I will see you guys next week. There's a bunch of replays on the channel. I did 2 office hours this week that were really fun. We just talked about business. So on Startup Grounds, I try to just talk about goal setting and mindset. I like kind of sharing what's coming up for me and hearing what's coming up for you guys and thinking about being more intentional and how we want to show up. And then office hours, we were talking about like, people were asking a lot of business strategy stuff. So if you guys want to check those out. And then I have 3 interviews up on the podcast that I did. One is with my friend Sandra, who's like a membership master. If you want to have a membership, you should definitely check that out. And then I did one with some really cool ladies I met that are they're white labeling GPTs to sell, which I thought was so interesting. And one with Gabe, who's like a goal setting mindset coach. And I mean, her and I just could talk all day about this stuff. I'm sure that's not a surprise to anybody, but I hope you guys have a great weekend. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. Leave a like, leave a comment, help me out. And I will talk to you guys soon.